Hey, little Lotto coming back down to earth here. And women, we all certainly love them. I know I do, right? And men certainly love to control them. Hell, we love to control them so much that they barely got rights within the last century. And even then, it was normalized for men to beat their wives to the point where they had propaganda saying the more that you hit your wife, the more you loved her.
Daddy, you spanked Mama.
You're darn tootin' I did.
That means you love her.
That's what I've been trying to tell her.
Even to this day, in different cultures, it is illegal for a woman to do anything, right? To drive, to have rights, to be basic human beings, right? An example of this is in Afghanistan, where they have it to be illegal for women to dance. So for an alternative, they have little boys do it instead. Yes, you heard that right. I'm being dead serious. Instead of giving women the right to dance or to do anything, they would prefer little boys to take that job instead. You know how absurd that concept is? Wow, what a weird place to start the video, but here we are. Don't worry, just like Stanley yelling at some holes, this all connects in the end. Don't worry. Now, we as men, and I would say myself too, because I have definitely been a part of the problem where I made attempts to mansplain or control women in my past relationships, but we as men have this toxic trait embedded within us that we just need to have some sort of control. Now, granted, some control is okay, but when it is to the extent where the woman is a prisoner in her own environment and, are seen more as objects than actual human beings, then that's where I believe that boundaries need to be set. And the reason I am saying this is because we are experiencing a new age, ladies and gentlemen, where women have a lot more options than they previously had. Right? The internet has opened up a vast amount of opportunities for people who have been gatekept in the past and were limited to having to follow the guidelines that were pre-existing. Rappers with SoundClouds were able to build a career and a following without having to initially go through the record companies and or the middleman that are these radio talk show hosts like Ebro in the Morning, for example. Content creators from all different spectrums of life were able to build a career through their creative pursuits without needing to go through the college education system. And although this isn't the only viable option for women to achieve success, one of the easier routes that attractive women or women who invested in themselves through bodily prosthetic procedures will take is to make an OnlyFans. Because since the dawn of man, all we ever wanted to do was bust a nut. And I'm not going to lie, I have been a victim of this, where there were times where I was at my peak most primal with my cock out, one hand on my wallet, one hand on my fucking hog, contemplating buying somebody's OnlyFans with electrical currents zooming through my brain like,
well, fuck, shit. She has a Black Friday promotional deal, 50% off, only $5.99 right now.
Now, I always come to my senses because Pornhub is free, but I get it. I have sympathy for all the fallen soldiers. But like with the access of the internet, these women are more accessible than ever, than any time period ever. You could go throughout history and women were not as accessible as they are now. Bro, I'm telling you, it's easy to get swayed from the word of God. I feel like Gideon. I'm about to change my channel into only talking about the Bible, man, because we're getting out of control. Come on, throughout any point of history, you're not seeing women shake as much ass as they are now. You didn't have to worry about this in the Roman Empire. That's why they were fucking dudes, right? I got women shaking ass all over my TikTok feed, my Instagram Reel feed, and every comment section that is popping on X. On Twitch's homepage, you will have a woman who has a sub goal where she will bounce and shake her titties for 3 subs. Everywhere I go, I see tits and ass. I see women doing ceiling challenges over a JID song. That's not what that song was meant for. What are you doing? You whore! And I'm just one man, dude. I can't take it. My neurons can't take it. I'm like Edward Cullen every time he's around Bella, who has this inner hunger that he just can't comprehend. It's like 1 out of 10 women with a social media presence has a link tree that will take you to an OnlyFans account. And listen, that's okay. I love women, right? It is in the complete purchaser's right and or lack of willpower to purchase an OnlyFans subscription. It's similar to anybody on the internet spending a monthly subscription on a streamer or a creator's Patreon. You know, we have come to a time where it is becoming a lot more normalized to spend money on content creators. But for OnlyFans, I personally believe there will be consequences and a change in the society if we continue to pursue down this route. Now, why do I say this? Well, it creates people like Andrew Tate and these other black pillars who will push this narrative that although I do believe some of the ideology that they say is okay, an example of this is that men should build themselves up. Men should go to the gym and just live a healthier lifestyle overall. They do this while belittling women and objectifying them, where they want to bring back those conservative traditional values that revolve around religion and to restrict women as if it was the 1900s all over again. Which then has these younger men who have no purpose, who are fatherless, alone, and or confirms their biases with these ideals that these black pillars have. It kind of assembles an army of incels and men who objectify women to the extent where it is unhealthy. And the fact that a lot of these women, not a lot, but some of these women have OnlyFans or are escorts, porn stars, prostitutes, this army will see them ultimately as objects and not as human beings. I mean, if we take a look at Mia Khalifa, for example, she has posted on numerous amount of times on X about her political commentary, and people will just respond to her by calling her a whore and or responding with her in that one video of her wearing a hijab. If you know, you know. With this, it creates content creators who agree with his ideology, some people who have been hurt by women and who kind of project their own self-hatred that they have towards this one particular person to the entire population of this particular sex, thus inspiring the next generation of young adults whose brains haven't fully developed and or had a negative experience with a young woman as well. People like Zerko, for example, who not only got his shit rocked, but on multiple occasions has posted him berating and treating women he's had sex with as garbage scum beneath his feet. He doesn't even acknowledge them as his equal. You could tell he sees them as a subhuman species.
And in my head, I don't see myself as this stud. I see myself as like my old self. So when I pick up chicks, I actually get angry. I go, wow, you gave me your number, you fucking skank.
I mean, we've had podcasts like Fresh and Fit that will bring on an OnlyFans model who's had no previous experience in debate and are just happy to be there for the exposure, get completely murdered and annihilated when they start to argue about topics that they are not fully educated on, further emphasizing the narrative that these podcasters want to push, that these women are just idiots who are pure evil, when in reality they solely choose women who are materialistic and not fully educated in order to paint that picture. It's like these creators want to create a divide, like Moses parting the Red Sea, and to deprive these women from that power that they built. And in order to do that, they need to get into the minds of these men who lack confidence and strength, thus creating incels. I mean, if we just take a look at the comment section, it's blatantly obvious what is happening here. Now, granted, the grass is not necessarily green on the other side as well, my friends, because since there is a plethora of OnlyFans creators who are successful, it has been inspiring for a lot of other women to create an OnlyFans, which then normalizes the oversexualization of women to an extent we have never seen before. A lot of these women who are still relatively young, some of them barely turning 18. An example of this is Bad Baby, who made $1 million in the first 6 hours. And I believe creating a career like this at such a young age is very unhealthy for the mind of a young woman who is still trying to process what life even means. You know, they do not understand the consequences of an occupation like this, which then ties back into the objectification of women, where men start treating her lesser than equal. A girl who just wanted to go down a route that looked like a promising financial opportunity now has a footprint in the digital world where she is exposed, naked, and has some of her content leaked in a Reddit forum somewhere. I'm pretty sure it creates insecurities for women like this, because since it was so normalized in society to pursue an OnlyFans, the people who made it deeply regretted it after several years. Now granted, some women were made for this. They enjoy this occupation. They stay in the industry until they're like 50 or until they make enough money that they can retire. These women can actually take the criticism. But I actually knew two people in the real world who had an OnlyFans during the pandemic when OF stocks were rising. And if we remember, for some reason, everybody was trying to make an OnlyFans when COVID hit. I don't know what it was, but we all had that one person in school who made an OnlyFans and had 20 subscriptions immediately because everybody at school wanted to see how Jessica's ass looked, and then immediately quit after a few months because, you know, the hype started to die down and they realized, oh fuck, what am I even doing? Yeah, both of those girls got pregnant. I don't know what that had to do with this topic that I'm on right now, but it's based on a true story. So yeah, this OnlyFans craze has caused women to believe that this is a viable option for success due to the fact that they can make a career out of this. But this could lead to further issues, both mentally and physically. Once again, I will use Mia Khalifa as an example because she could speak more fluently than half of these politicians, but nobody gives a fuck because she got busted on. Another person I feel bad for is Adam22 and Leonard the Plug's child, because what would she think when she becomes sentient and realizes her father and mother were basically the LeBron James and Dwayne Wade of fucking on cam? And I bet people are gonna say, why am I so judgmental, bro? Like, why are you so close-minded? Like, bro, these are legit issues that she is going to have to face when she gets into the real world. I mean, look at North Kardashian. She doesn't respect Kim Kardashian worth of shit, and she obviously knows that she got piped down by Ray J on camera. Like, bro, if my mom was a thought, I'd hate her for life for the embarrassment that she'll put me through during the real world, you know, because it's not going to be sunshine and rainbows, baby. I gotta stay quiet during a roast session because I don't want the person to turn to me and say, boy, I know you not laughing. You're right, I'm not, I'm sorry. Shit, like, I know why Michael Myers murdered everybody in the Rob Zombie version. If I had Junie Cortez from fucking Spy Kids telling me that my mama sucks dick for a quarter, I'm murdering everybody. I don't give a fuck. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. We have to understand that the population are mixed with different ideologies, different cultures, different backgrounds, different perceptions of reality, and that will never change. Not everybody will be open-minded. That will never happen, ever. So the opposing sides, where men have a deep hatred for women, usually a projection due to their own lackluster sex life and or financial instability, and on the other end, where women are making OnlyFans because it's being normalized in order to financially secure themselves, where they develop a deep depression and are being objectified more often, is something that will just exist. It will just happen. I'm not here to come up with a solution. I thought it'd be an interesting topic to dissect. I'm going to end this off with saying thank you guys for the 200 subscriptions. That is crazy. I didn't think I'd ever hit 100. Me hitting 200 in another 3 months, hey, that's fucking dope. I appreciate you. I will continue to pursue content. I will upload as consistently as possible. I appreciate you. And on another note, if you are coming to an OnlyFans girl, they are just collecting your soul for the afterlife. So be careful, buddy. Anyways, that's all from me. I'm off to another dimension. See ya.